Happy 2017 to everyone. Hope everyone had a great start to their New Year's. And right now it's a Monday morning for me. I'm sitting here actually at the Detroit Metro Airport, waiting for my next ride request to come in. So I thought I'd make this quick video and just kind of go over and share some of my personal feedback on the cash option that was recently introduced in Colorado Springs, and just kind of share how I feel about the program. And many of you probably have already seen the video that was made of the actual announcement in Colorado Springs, and in the video it went over how the program works. And if you actually go to Uberman, which is a great resource for any news on driving for Uber and a lot of the information that comes out, that's a great place to go. He actually has the video uploaded on his channel, so you can see the official announcement or rollout of this program in Colorado Springs. I myself, I'm in the state of Michigan. If anyone knows or has any idea about Michigan, we don't have mass transportation. Everything is spread out, so you have to have a car. You have to have a car to get around. The exception to the rule, I think, is in our college town of Ann Arbor, which holds the University of Michigan and University of Michigan Hospital. So it's a very compact area. You've got a combination of everybody in the medical field. You've got college students, so it's a very busy area where people will walk or they'll ride their bikes in the spring and summertime. But for all intents and purposes, this state, you have to have a vehicle to get from point A to point B. Only places we really have buses are like downtown Detroit or Ann Arbor, but everything else, pretty much, you have to have a car. My personal thoughts on the cash option that Uber is rolling out in Colorado Springs is I like the idea. I've read a lot of feedback so far from a lot of drivers. A lot of them are not too keen on the idea. My understanding of the program is Uber's already tested it in 150 cities in different countries, so they're already getting some idea of how well it's being received by new riders. And so I believe it's allowed them the opportunity to tweak the program now that they're rolling it out and testing it in Colorado Springs. So, from the standpoint of a driver, as far as how the program works, I understand that we accept the ride, we pick up the ride as normal, take them to their destination. At the end of the ride, the person pays us the money and end a ride. Okay. From the rider's standpoint, it's really nice because if when they request a ride, it gives them an idea, of course, how much they have to pay, and we pick them up, take them to their destination. If we have to take them to additional places and it winds up being more than what they thought it would be, let's say if it winds up being, a $15 fare, but they only have a 20, then they know automatically that they give us the 20, and they have the option to tip us that additional $5. Or if they want that $5 back, they know that we can put that in our app, and then that the person wants the $5 back, and Uber will credit their account back the $5. So if you're a driver and you don't carry and you don't feel comfortable carrying around cash, you have that peace of mind knowing you keep that full 20, and Uber will credit the passenger the $5. Just make a mental note. Obviously that'll be adjusted on your statement accordingly. And there shouldn't be any argument with the rider. From what I understand with Uber, the rider will already know ahead of time that if it's $15 and they only have a 20, they give you that 20, they will automatically know if they need that $5 back, that it's automatically going to be credited. So there shouldn't be any drama or anything of that nature. Other from that, another reason why I like the program is here in Michigan, over the last year that I've been driving for Uber, I can't tell you, well, driving for Uber full time, I should say. I've met a lot of people that are retirees. They're still, some of them are still parents. Some of them are people that have never even thought about using Uber, but due to unforeseen circumstances, and many of you have heard these stories before if you're a driver, how many times do you pick up somebody that they'll say, yeah, my car broke down. Or we only have one car, and my wife needed the car, and so now I'm stuck. Or my kids needed the car for college, and now I don't have a vehicle. Or I even picked up a woman that was unexpectedly diagnosed with a medical condition, and her doctor said she can't drive for 6 months. And how does she get to work now? I mean, a lot of things could have been really impacted by this diagnosis. And of course, taking a taxi, especially here in Michigan, it would have been too expensive. And she doesn't want to impact her friends or family by having them take her to and from work. So she had no choice. I mean, she had to step out of her comfort zone and sign up for Uber. I meet a lot of people that are using Uber for the first time. They have a lot of questions. They're not comfortable with it, and they're really curious how this thing is going to work. They'll tell me, Mark, I'm not tech savvy. I don't know how to use my smartphone. I had to have my kids help me to register my card, and I don't know if I'm really comfortable with this. I mean, some people are weary because of the debit and credit card fraud that various department stores have undergone with hacking and so forth. So a lot of people are really hesitant about registering their information or their card with an unknown company for fear of money just starting to come out of their account and they have no control over it. So many of you may have heard stories like this. So the reason why I like this cash option is it allows these people to get to know how Uber works. It allows them to get to know how the process works, to know it's a seamless process, and build that comfort and that confidence. And then eventually the hope is that these people will indeed allow their credit or debit cards, for example, to be utilized to use Uber often. So that's another reason why I like it. For anyone that's not comfortable with using the cash option, from what I understand, Uber has the option built into the app where you as a driver, if you don't wish to participate in the program, you'll have two choices, to take the cash rides and the normal rides that we already take, and you can just opt right out of it, so you can just continue on as normal. I believe that the ratio that Uber has stated as far as how many people will actually use the cash option is 1 in 20 rides that we pick up will actually be using the cash option. So I welcome more business, and I like the fact that Uber will allow the driver the option to opt out of it if they're not feeling the program. I can't comment on Uber Pool because we don't have that here in Michigan. So I can't give any feedback, positive or negative, about that program, that Uber rolled out to try to gain more ridership. But with this particular program, I can say that if it does indeed come to Michigan, I'm open to it based on what I've heard. So I'm actually excited for it if it comes. It just means more business for us here. The other little bit of news that I'll share is the fact that I received an email a couple weeks ago that Uber is going to be mailing out the new decals here in Michigan. They passed legislation to officially allow rideshare companies to be here, and they stated the regulations that we have to adhere to, and one of them being that we have to have the decals prominently placed in our windows. When I first started with Uber back in 2015, with my other vehicle, I did have the old sticker, the old decal that I put in my window. I actually liked it because I received a lot of compliments from people who said, you know what, Mark, you're one of the few Uber vehicles that I've seen with the decal, and thank you, because we know what kind of car you have, but with a ton of cars in the area, we didn't know how to find you, but your decal right there, we knew that's Mark. So as soon as I get it, I'll be using it. I think it's a great idea. So other from that, I'm really anxious to get your feedback on how you feel the cash option would work in your particular state. If you like the idea, if you don't like it, why, and yeah, any feedback, any comments or questions that you have. By all means, feel free to leave that, and I'll do my very best to share my experiences or my insight as far as what I've experienced in the past with Uber. And other from that, feel free to subscribe to my channel. If you're someone that's considering driving for Uber, by all means, click on the referral link down below. Reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to help you any way I can. I'm more than happy to share any mistakes that I've made, maybe some stories as far as, you know, the things that make driving for Uber for me worthwhile, especially doing it full time. I'll share some of the tips that have worked for me, and just answer any questions that you may have, and you can use me as a resource to help you, you know, make the adjustment into Uber. So other from that, thank you so much for watching my video, and hope each and every one of you has an amazing day.